Hey Killer Bees, it's Paula B from PaulaBFitness.com, and on tap today it's day 17 of the Weight Loss for Women Over 50 series. And you guys, today we're going for a great power walk with balance practice. This is low impact cardio and body weight strength, which means that you don't need any equipment at all. There's absolutely no jumping, there's no transitions to the ground, and today there's no squatting. So when you're ready for this one, I'm totally ready. Let's go. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving. And that means that we're getting started with some arm circles with high knees. Oh my goodness, did every joint in your body just totally crack like mine did? That is so funny how that happens sometimes. I've actually been pretty active today. I've been moving around, but oh my goodness, my shoulders popped, my knee popped, my hip popped, my toes are popping. Although, to be fair, my toes actually pop all day, all night. I could never be a ninja. How about you? My friends, are you ready for a good one today? I'm already starting off with not a lot of balance, and that is truly what I want to talk to you about while we're even, like before we even get started on today being a power walk, which is like so much fun. It's low impact cardio, but it's a nice moderate kind of, I don't want to say gentle, but it is a kinder, gentler low impact cardio, but we're also working on balance practice. And I very, very specifically use that phrase, balance practice, rather than balance work. It is work. There's plenty of work to be done. Let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers. But I want you to know that, first of all, if you don't already notice it, I am not perfect. I am going to struggle with many of these balance poses today. And I expect that you might also. The fact is, if you are great at balance, you might watch my workouts and be like, wow, this is really bad. Please feel free to go find somebody else who has perfect balance if that would make you feel better. I'm here for all of us who really struggle with balance. This is hard work for me. And the fact is, the time to work on our balance really is now before we need it desperately later in our lives. It's why I devote so much time and energy to working on my balance, working on your balance, helping you get a stronger core so that you can stay on your feet for as long as possible. Let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes. Here's what it looks like today, you guys. I've got the handy dandy gym boss here, set for intervals of 30 seconds of cardio, meaning our power walking moves, and 15 seconds of balance practice. I've got a handful of exercises. There's really not a ton of them today, that because they are balance work, we're going to do the work on one side and then we're going to do the work on the other side. They are single-sided exercises. We're going to go through the whole circuit twice. Plenty of practice to be had. I want you to know that if you would like to have a chair nearby or be standing near a wall or some other kind of safety measure, please do. Please, please, please do. I would much rather you tap down or have your hand on something than struggle and feel like this is too hard for you or accidentally actually fall and hurt yourself. Much, much more important to feel empowered and feel good about our work today. Let's go ahead and get started with that first 30 seconds. We're marching, and that means that we're going to get our arms into it, getting our feet into it, getting our toes cracking and popping. This is a walking move, but we're getting it a little bit more oomph to it. Now, when it beeps, we're going to go directly into a balance pose. Our first one is hands up and one knee up. For me personally, I am going to try really, really hard to remember to stand on my left leg for the first interval every time. I like to get my left leg over with because it tends to be, so hands up, knee up. Oh my gosh, when it beeps again, we're going to come right back into that marching. My left side tends to be tougher for me, and I like to get it over with. Core is pulled in nice and tight, whoo, and right back to marching. You know, here's the real magic of today. Today is essentially a Metcon, a metabolic conditioning workout. We're going back and forth between cardio and strength, cardio and strength, cardio and strength. And I know that sometimes we don't think about balance as being strength work, right? It totally is. My friends, you are working the most important muscles in your entire body, your deep core stabilizers. When it beeps again, we're going to do that hands up, knee up. Here we are on the other side. That first couple of seconds is real wobbly with our high heart rate. When we come out of this, we're going into a wide marching, which means that we're going to step out to each side and then step back in. Still a marching movement, but we're getting some lateral to it. So step out, out, in, out, in. Oh my gosh, feel that stretch on your inner thigh. It's good cardio, but boy, are we working for it too. When it beeps again, we're going to come up into a side kick hold. For me personally, I'm going to stand on my left foot first. Going to try and really think about doing that left side for the first time every time. That way, personally, I can kind of keep track of where we are in the workout, but also, here we go up into a side kick. Wherever your hands need to be, wherever your foot can be, I'm going to try and extend this out. Breathing normally, core is pulled in tight. When it beeps again, we're going to go back out to that wide marching. Out, out, in. Very nice. The real nice thing about this particular single-sided work means that for this exercise specifically, we can kind of change the leader foot. I don't know if you noticed, but this is very one-sided on the cardio also. When it beeps again, we're going to come up on that other foot for that side kick hold, thinking about finding a balance of where we're tipping over that is just far enough. Like everything we talk about this month, here we go. We're trying to find the balance, the moderate, that place where we can feel good without being too much. When it beeps again, we're going to do forward kicks with high hands, meaning that our hands are going up and down. Here we go. While our leg is kicking. Whee! Just like, this feels like such a cheerleader move to me. I love this one. This one does get real high heart rate real fast though. I'm actually going to go ahead and slow this down just a little bit, making sure I find my moderate, just like you should find yours. When it beeps, we're going to do a forward kick hold. You can have your hands up. I'm probably going to put mine out to the side to make sure that I don't fall out of it. Here we go. That forward kick hold, squeezing from the tops of your thighs, squeezing from your core. Standing leg is soft but strong. When it beeps again, we're going to go right back into those high hands. Woo! Forward kick. Oh my goodness. Yes, the balance poses are getting tougher. That's why this is a relatively short circuit today. Not that we're short circuiting, but that is a relatively short list of exercises. Balance gets tough fast. I wanted to make sure that we could handle this work today. When it beeps again, we're going to stand on the other foot, balancing in that front kick. Awesome job. Wherever your hands, oh my gosh, need to be. I'm actually going to put mine down just a little bit. Really engaging that thigh, engaging your abs. When it beeps again, we're going to do some lateral motion. We're doing grapevines. So a little bit of side to side. You can kick it out if you want to. Boom, just like that, feeling good. When it beeps, we're going to go into a star balance hold. Very much like the side kick, except that we are really specifically putting our hands up for that one. Having one biceps right near your ear, the other one out to the side a little bit. I used to call these plus signs, if that helps you kind of get a visual for it, except that I can't get over far enough to call it that. So for me, standing on my left leg, tipping over into, that's why I call it a star balance, more or less a star shape versus trying to come all the way over into a plus sign. Oh my goodness, and here we go right back into that grapevine. Awesome job. Oh, you guys. It is hard to find moderation with balance work. For me, it's always tough. Like we talked about yesterday with finding moderation, there's many ways to moderate, but truly some work is always going to feel difficult. When it beeps again, doing that star balance hold on the other side. Excellent job. breathing, pulling in your core during the course of the 15 seconds. You can see if you can get down lower, deeper into this. When it beeps again, we're going to do the Charleston, which is basically the grapevine, but forward and back. Now this is also pretty single-sided, and I'm not entirely sure if I'm coordinated enough to do this the other way. My body very naturally kicks with my right foot and kicks to the rear with my right foot, which is good news because when it beeps again, we're going to do a Drinky bird hold, and I'm going to start on my left foot. Drinky bird is a single leg deadlift. It means that we are going to have one leg kicked up behind us. While we tip forward as far as you can. Your hamstrings, the flexibility of them really will determine how far over you're able to go, making sure that your standing leg is soft but strong. And then here we go. Kicking. Oh my gosh, I was able to kind of do this on my other side. This is a lot of coordination for me today, you guys. That's what I love about a power walk with balance work, is that I am thinking hard and moving moderately. This is a workout for your brain as well as your body when it beeps, doing that Drinky bird hold on the other side. Good job. All right, let me go ahead and get into it from the side so that you can see. Standing leg is soft but strong. Hands are wherever they need to be. You're pulling forward by squeezing from your glutes. Neck is neutral, core is in tight, back is super duper straight, and then we're right back to marching, you guys. That was the circuit, and we're gonna go through it just one more time. So here we are with that marching that we started with. That means that we get to do the hands up, knee up, hold again. Slightly easier, I'm hoping, on round two. You know, here's the thing about round two. Round two is kind of easier on the balance part because our body and our brain is like kind of into it now. Here we go. But also, round two, your heart rate is higher, which means that the balance is simultaneously going to be more difficult, even when it's easier. When it beeps again, coming right back to that marching. Excellent job. Making sure that you are breathing while we're doing the cardio and while you're in the hold. Pulling in your core is very different from holding your breath. And I know that, 2.5 weeks into this, I've told you to pull in your core numerous times, but I know that if you're kind of new to exercise, that might be sort of a weird thought. Pulling in your core isn't just squeezing your abs. Here we go on the other side with that other hold. Knee up, hands up, really thinking about pulling down from your shoulder blades. When it beeps again, we're doing that wide marching, stepping out, stepping in, really feeling that work. Oh, very nice on your inner and outer thighs. Hands are just kind of chugging along, feeling good on this. I remember when I first found my core muscles, and it sounds so funny to say, but truly, I had no idea where they were until I went looking for them and tried to squeeze them and develop them. When it beeps, we're doing that side kick. So I'm going to stand on my left leg, kicking out with my right foot. And the best description I've ever heard, here we go, is to think about pulling your belly button towards your spine. It's not squeezing like you're trying to take a photograph and show somebody your six-pack of abs. Here we go with that wide marching with the other leader foot. I know sometimes when we think about squeezing our abs, we're really thinking about what ends up there. You have two levels or two layers of abdominal muscles. There's the external abdominal obliques and the internal abdominals and obliques. When I'm talking to you about pulling in your core, you're not really squeezing the way that we do when we're showing off muscles. You're more pulling in. And when you find those muscles, here we go with the side kick hold on the other side. When we come out of this, we're doing the forward kicks with the high hands, that fun cheerleader type move. Excellent job. Very nice. Forward kicks with a high hand. I'm going to try it this time. I realized last time I actually balanced on my right leg first It was such a natural reaction. I'm gonna try really hard to do what I say this time and balance on my left foot with my right leg kicked out forward. That hold is particularly difficult for me. The balance of having your leg, relatively speaking, straightened out in front is tough stuff. Here we go, hands wherever. In fact, I'm gonna bring mine down because my heart rate's a little bit high. Nice job. Squeezing from your glute, standing strong on this leg, holding that forward kick. Whoo, doggies. And here we go with that high hands forward kick. Whoo, for the last time. The next time we balance, it's gonna be on the other foot, whichever way you found to balance, totally fine. But my friends, when you are simply squeezing your abdominal muscles, here's something that can accidentally happen to women our age. If you have had any, I'm going to call them pelvic floor issues. If you have had, oh golly, here we go with that forward kick hold. When it beeps again, we're going to go right into grapevines. If you have had any prolapses of any sort, anywhere, and there are lots of things that can prolapse, unfortunately, my friends. Here we go with grapevines with a little bit of a kick. One of the reasons that we get prolapses is because we are squeezing too much. We very frequently, unintentionally, squeeze our external abs, squeeze and push our pelvic floor away. When it beeps, we're going to do that star balance, which means that we're going to have our hands up overhead, biceps right next to your ear. Here we go. Nice job. That combination of squeezing while pushing out and down can actually be really, really tough on your body. Pulling in your core is the exact opposite. Here we go with grapevines again for the final time. Little side to side, feeling good. When you practice pulling in your core, you can simultaneously, and it's very, very good for you, pull up and in on your pelvic floor. It's slightly different. You'll have to work a little harder to find those pelvic floor muscles too, but let me tell you something, my friend, that is good work. Here we go, star balance on the other side. When we come out of this, we're going into the Charleston. I am very naturally gonna lead with my dominant foot. I can already tell because I can hear my brain thinking about it. And here we go, forward kick and backward kick. You know what? It doesn't matter what we do. If you are moving and having fun, you're doing such a good job with this. Don't worry about some of the little stuff. You know, here I am telling you, pull in your core, pull up your pelvic floor, lead with your left foot, lead with your right foot, think about balancing. It's a lot. Don't worry about getting it all right today. We're practicing. When it beeps, here it is for me. Left foot down into that Drinky bird. Back is super duper straight. Standing leg is soft but strong. What a good job you're doing. When it beeps again, I'm going to try really hard. Here we go, Charleston. On the other side, if I can, kicking awkwardly with my left foot. It's funny how very different my non-dominant side feels. When it beeps again, we're doing that Drinky bird hold, my friends, for the last time. You guys, you have done such a good job with this power walk and balance practice. No matter how wobbly you've been, here we are into the Drinky bird. And my friends, let me just tell you something real quick. When it beeps again, we are done. We're not quite finished. I'm going to stand up right quick, step on my left foot, and we are doing around the world kicks, which is what it sounds like. We're going to kick forward. We're going to kick to the side. We're going to kick back. We are balancing through both the 30-second interval and the 15-second interval on one side, and then doing this exact same thing on the other. Thinking about numerous things. Thinking about your standing leg being soft but strong. Unclench your toes if you can. Pull up on your pelvic floor. Pull in with your core. We've got 15 more seconds on this side before we do the other side. Thinking about breathing thinking about not tipping yourself over too far. It's a lot. It's a lot to do, a lot to think about. Here we go on the other side. Pull it up, pull it in, kick it forward, kick it to the side, kick it back. It's amazing. This is my dominant leg, and this balance feels slightly easier, but the kicks are so awkward that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna knock myself over. That really is the trouble with having a very dominant side, is that even though my balance is easier, I'm so uncoordinated with this kicking. When it beeps again is our last time. This is just the 15 seconds. We're almost there, my friend. Oh my gosh, what a good job you're doing. So proud of you being willing to practice and do new things. I'm turning off the timer. That was fun. Let's go ahead and do some arm circles with these low tappers. Oh my gosh. Open up your chest. I know for me, sometimes doing balance work, it's so weird. You know, you're working so hard with your core and your lower body when you're balancing. My shoulders get super tense. I'm compensating for my lack of balance by squeezing my shoulders tight. I don't know if that happens to you. You might be great at balance. But if you find that also, this kind of good cool down where we're stretching out that upper body, stretching out your chest, stretching out your shoulders, stretching out your back, really helps release some of that tension. That's truly one of the best things that we can do during a cool down, is to mentally and physically release the tension that we have built up during our workout. Your muscles have been squeezing the whole time we've been working. And now the cool down, we're breathing oxygen back into them and letting them know that it's okay to stretch right back out to their normal length. Excellent job. That feels so good. Let's go ahead and do arm crossers, actually arm openers first. I always start with the open, and then we close it up and give ourselves a great big hug. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you today for doing something that felt tough. Even if you have great balance, there was something today that challenged you, and I am so proud of you for sticking it out and doing your best. Open it up. Big deep breath. Woo. Let those muscles know that it's totally okay. Give yourself a big hug. Let yourself know that it's totally okay that you did it today. Here on screen, my friends, I'm going to have a much longer cool down for you. This was sweaty today. Make sure that you take the time to cool down, stretch out those muscles, relax those muscles that we worked, including your core muscles. Let them relax. On the other side of the screen, I'm going to have the playlist that has all 31 of this series of workouts. So far, there's just 17 of them, but at the end of the month, all 31 of them will be available to you in perpetuity. You can use them again and again and again and again and again to keep getting weight loss results. Then on the bottom of the screen is the letter P. That's an invitation to go over to Patreon, where a monthly pledge from you helps me make free workouts for all of us. And thank you so much for that. And on the other side of the screen, that is a picture of me, and it's a subscribe button. Make sure that you click that and the bell notification so YouTube will let you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for working out with me today. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.